Hello and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. I am Ditch and you're watching Friday Night SmackDown from Nashville, Tennessee. Can I be real with you for a minute? Mr. or Mrs. Viewer. Let's be honest, Mr. Viewer. You're the only 10 I see. I don't know why I'm laughing. I mean it. I mean it with my heart and soul, chat. Viewer, sorry, chat. Anyway, we're kicking things off with the prime time players. In their recent matches here on SmackDown, Titus O'Neil suffered a loss in his first SmackDown matchup, whereas Darren Young won his. Now here tonight, they're going to see if they can even out the score with another win. Wait. That's not evening out the score at all. Forget what I said. That's not evening out the score. If they're going to win this thing, they're going to settle the score. There you go. There's what I meant to say. Curt Hennig and Six, the Outcasts. The only remnants, really, of the NWO. I mean, Hulk Hogan over on Raw still calls himself the New World Order, the NWO, but this is the only tag team right now that seems to still be donning the music and the shirts. I think it's funny. The only reason these guys still come out like this is because Hogan, when he kicked them out, he literally said, I don't care what you guys do. Just know that you are not the NWO, hence why they're known as the Outcasts. But, you know, credit where due, Six has been, he's definitely gotten some decent wins lately. And we'll see if they can shut down the primetime players, the newcomers to SmackDown in this first matchup here. So we start things off, it's Six up against Darren Young, and of course this is, as mentioned before, we've had Six against Titus, we've had Darren Young against Hennig. We've not had these two face off against each other, and obviously we've not had Titus and Hennig then either. That's how that works. In case you couldn't tell. We seem to be getting some lag very early on. We actually seem to be getting lag during the entrance. I'm just going to make sure I've not got anything running in the background that maybe I don't need. It's always really weird because I only ever really get it when I play this. Anything else I do never has these issues, which is why I think it's just the game, to be honest. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. I don't know why it was lagging during the entrances, though. That's unusual. Either way, it doesn't matter. Darren Young coming in hot and fast, and honestly, he's been very impressive since he made his debut on NXT. As mentioned many times before, the primetime players really were an essential part of that first era of NXT, and I think that will be something that they're always remembered for. I hope. I hope people will remember that about them. Six now going to make the tag, and Darren Young makes the tag, and in comes Hennig and Titus, who are both fresh into this match.
The range of emotions here is startling. There's almost an unknowing of what to expect.
Titus sending Hennig into the primetime players corner for a moment. Never mind. Only for that moment. Thought maybe we're going to see another tag out. And of course, we've got that big triple threat. Everyone's dream match coming up in our main event tonight. I'm sure some people are excited for it, but, you know. It's going to be the Great Khali, Mark Henry, and Scott Steiner facing off in a triple threat to determine who will challenge the Big Show for the World Heavyweight Championship next week on SmackDown. We will be just 9 days away from the Royal Rumble where John Cena will challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. So the title being defended twice in the coming weeks. But the question is, who's even going to be walking in with the World Heavyweight Championship? And there's going to be an answer soon enough. But soon enough can't come soon enough. Probably the smartest thing I've ever said there. I'm joking. We've also got an interesting challenge for the Royal Rumble that I'll be divulging into later on in the night. I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out, but obviously I don't want to announce it just yet, so give it time. But we've also got an Extreme Rules match. Edge looking to settle the score with Damien Sandow. I feel like Edge, Christian, and the Coalition, they have had their issues for a long time. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was, what, disdain for, like, Bret Hart and Edge and Christian that led to the formation of the Coalition. That and obviously the issues with Triple H. Discord? Why was there a Discord noise? Oh, because I'm a brain dumb and I forgot to put stream mode on. Let me just turn that on real quick so Discord notifications don't go off. Whoopsie! Man. Cover attempt here from Titus, just the one. Michael Cole talking about sex on commentary, and Darren Young doing what he does best, dropping him ass first on the side of the ring. That's gonna really hurt that ass. Cover attempt by Titus, just a one. Anytime I hear JR, it makes me so happy. I miss that man. Where is he these days? I don't think he does any commentary anymore. None at all. I don't know what Titus was going for there, but he didn't get any of it. What do we have coming up next? That's the only match I don't remember on this show right now, and I bet it's really good too. Coming up next, we have... Oh, that's right. It was a challenge issued last week. Wade Barrett calling Sheamus weak, saying he's a shell of his former self. And he's going to beat the old Sheamus back into him. Or he's going to take advantage of it and say that he has a win over a historically very successful champion. Either way, Wade Barrett is looking out for Wade Barrett here tonight, not Sheamus, when he issued this challenge. Ooh! Takes him away from the ropes. And a cover attempt just for a one. You can expect Six to be on top of things. I gotta say, I think he's the standout star between these two. And I mean no disrespect to Curt Hennig when I say that. Curt Hennig's a great wrestler, but I think Six is... he's been around a long time at this point, and he's been very impressive. And when I say he's been around a long time, I mean he was around since last season.
And he has to make a tag to his fresh partner. He was able to reverse that. Can he score the pin?
Cover attempt on a roll up here. Just
And
the
now
one.
the toll of this very physical contest is beginning to show on his body. Oh my gosh, what a slam!
Oh my gosh!
The physicality. He can barely stand, but he still presses on.
Darren Young, gut check, gets him. That's his finisher move.
Graciously physical match these
And cover attempt here on Hennig. Titus with the backup. Hennig kicks out. That could have been it.
almost saying I can do that too.
Just a little bit of unfortunate timing on the part of the primetime. Well, actually, no. That was a kick out by Curt Hennig. What am I even saying? It's like I'm not paying attention.
Those millions and millions
Focus. Focusing. Elbow drop there by Curt Hennig.
thus far. It's been so physical.
I mean, I'll tell you, what do the Outcasts do if they lose here tonight? Curt Hennig is one of the lowest rated superstars on SmackDown right now, whereas Six is not. It's kind of around the middle point, I think. Primetime players, of course, still very low down themselves as they're still very fresh here. Still trying to build up that momentum, still trying to get things rolling for themselves. It's a tough game, I'd imagine, stepping up from NXT to SmackDown. Just the crowd size alone can be enough to eat away at you. And there you see it. Everybody's favorite move by Six. Tag made to Curt Hennig, Darren Young. Big smile on his face. And a perfect plex. And he doesn't get the job done. Why is it called the perfect plex? Well, because he does it perfectly, of course.
I can't believe everything that's transpired that's been so physical.
Obviously, with us starting off with a tag match, you can expect this to go slow. Definitely not as slow as next week's 6-man tag to kick off Monday Night Raw, though. That's going to be a long way to kick off the show. And that's why I'm not doing that today. Full Nelson applied here on Titus. That's a smart thing to do at this point in the match. Ooh.
And now his partner comes in.
Go for it. Cover attempt here by Kurt Hennig on Titus O'Neil and a kick out.
Wild strike misses the target. I'm having a heart. We got a corner. Now that is a powerhouse kick out, King. These athletes seem to have tried everything in their playbook.
Oh, there's more in their arsenal. I promise you that. I don't know what it is, but they'll find it. O'Neal reverses it.
Well, down he goes. And a tag is made to 6. And he comes. 6 coming in, of course. the Season 4 special. That's another one of them right there. That's not the submission one, but that's another one of them. I wonder why they did that. Why did they have every hot tag fail in this game? That had to be like a choice, right? That had to be something that they put in. Because they worked fine up until this game.
Oh, a last-second rescue. Submission hold locked in. We may see a tap out right here.
Uh-oh. Titus O'Neil in a bad spot. Darren Young nowhere to be seen, and he gets out of the situation by himself there.
What sheer determination.
What is 6 looking to do here? Going up to the top rope. Titus. Very slow to do anything there. That was awkward. Cross body into a 2. Roll up attempt. Is this going to be enough? No. Kick out, gang. Titus O'Neil back in control here. Of course, you got to walk into Hennig a little before he goes for the pin. That's makes sense. I understand. All been there.
Hennig's going to have to turn this around fast. He's putting those educated feet to good use.
I wonder how long this match will end up going in total. This kickoff match. I mean, I guess it is the blow off of this feud, really. I mean, where else can these guys go from here? This has to be it. I do declare. Back and forth exchange between these two. Shoulder tackle takes down 6. Titus O'Neil in control once again. Has not forgotten about the loss he suffered at the hands of 6. I can assure you that. Cover attempt. Another kick out. What's he gonna need to do? What does he need to do? Cover attempt. Another kick out. This just keeps on going. Submission hold applied here by Titus O'Neil. The real deal. This is the match that ever ends, my friends. Cover attempt there by 6, and another kick out by Titus. I don't even have much to say. This match did not have that much background, unfortunately. So it going this long is it's a little awkward. Cover attempt here by Titus, and another kick out. Crazy to think these two teams really laying it all on the line. The spotlight is on them, and they are making the most of it on both sides of this match tonight, I would say. There may not be any love lost in that ring, but I will tell you what, this is some good competition. Can you call him Kurt Hennig? But there's no extra N. It's Hennig, isn't it? Not ING.
These athletes seem to have tried everything in their playbook. 1, 2.
Cover attempt, just a 2. Oh, this shitty move. That's never going to win you a match, trust me. Imagine using that as a finisher. You'd have to be a real dumbass. I'm going to start calling him Hennig as well now. Hennig going into the cover. A clothesline attempt. Roll up. Darren Young. Has he finally got him? The primetime players win. Holy hell, what a long match that was. That one just felt like it was never going to end. But you know what? The primetime players, they were making moves. $1 million moves. And now they're the winners. Hell yeah. That's my guys right there.
What an incredible match. That one could have gone either way. Nobody has anything to be ashamed of in this one.
Darren Young with a pin on Hennig for the 2nd week in a row. And it leads to a victory for the primetime plays, barking his ass off. Hell yeah. Primetime players victorious to kick off SmackDown. I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, up next, it's going to be a lot of history revisited in this one. Sheamus and Wade Barrett, one-on-one.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, from Manchester, England, weighing 246 pounds, Wade Barrett.
You know, I hate to say it, and perhaps this is a little bit of a controversial opinion to be sharing. So forgive me if you disagree or if this upsets anybody, but I actually, I hate to admit it, I think Barrett's got a point. I think it is worth trying to awaken something in Sheamus here tonight. I mean, I think it's a mistake, because if you do get the old Sheamus back, SmackDown's in danger. But Barrett does have a good point. Sheamus was, once upon a time, you know, he was feared. He was a big deal. He was the top dog. Over on Raw, the United Kingdom dominated under his leadership. He has 3 records as the longest reigning champions.
Approaching the ring, from Dublin, Ireland, weighing 272 pounds, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
But recently he has taken one big loss after another. Whether it was against the World Heavyweight Champions, Big Show or Mark Henry, or whether it was against Andre the Giant. Sheamus has fallen out of contention of all of the singles championships here on SmackDown. And Wade Barrett says that it's sad to see what Sheamus has become. But the thing is, it might not be that Sheamus has fallen off. It might be that the competition has gotten that much tougher since these guys were on top. And I guess Barrett's going to find out firsthand which one it is. So here we go, Wade Barrett and Sheamus starting things off, and Sheamus going straight in on the offense there. He didn't waste any time laying into Wade Barrett, making it clear he is not going to let up on this guy. And I mean, you know, for any of you that were hoping for a reunion between these two as the only remaining members of the United Kingdom on the same show. I mean, obviously Drew McIntyre's over on Raw, but I don't see him dropping 3MB to realign with these two. I don't think we got a chance of these guys reuniting anytime soon, which is a shame because obviously the World Tag Team title here on SmackDown is another championship Sheamus has history with. He's the longest reigning World Tag Team champion to date, back when he was tag champs with Drew McIntyre. No one has taken that record away from Sheamus. Coalition, I think, are doing pretty damn well as tag team champions, though. You never know. They could be the ones to do it. Of course, they've got to be due to defend those tag team titles soon. They haven't defended them since TLC. But the question is, who gets a shot? Oh, no, that's right. I forgot. The primetime players are getting a shot at the Royal Rumble. Wow, it's a good thing they won their match earlier then, isn't it? The primetime players will meet the the coalition for the World Tag Team titles. The Royal Rumble, and the primetime players could be on their way to winning their 3rd tag team championship in their career as 2-time NXT tag team champions. Wade Barrett goes for a strike to the midsection as Sheamus just swung him in mid-air there. This is great retaliation, but Barrett sit out, spine busted, down goes Sheamus. And a poke to the eye. Very casual. He did that so comfortably and casually. Ties up the arm and strikes the back of it. Sheamus in control some more. Again with the arm. That's what we call limb targeting, maybe. Ooh, Barrett raking the eyes, and obviously the thing is, these two are not going to hold back against each other. Yeah, I mean, truth be told, Sheamus has fallen a little bit off, but who's Barrett to talk? You know, he's going, oh, well, I'm rising up right now. This guy dropped down to NXT. This guy tried to reform the Nexus, and that failed. Tried to become an NXT champion, and he couldn't. Yeah, okay, he worked his way back up from NXT, and I'll admit, he's been on the rise here on SmackDown with his recent wins. But, I mean, is he really in any position to say that he's bigger and better than Sheamus? I'd like to see Barrett set foot in the ring with Mark Henry, Big Show, or Andre the Giant. Acting like he's so high and mighty and above Sheamus. Irish cuss backbreaker there by Sheamus. And he goes in for the cover. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? No, we don't need to. Barrett catches the arm of Sheamus and goes for an elbow to the face. And oh, Sheamus retaliates by catching Wade Barrett onto his shoulders. White noise. That's not white noise, that's the high cross. White noise is the... He has a lot of fucking moves, alright? Cover attempted by Sheamus, the high cross. Not enough to get the job done. Really? I gotta be honest, that kind of surprised me. Wade Barrett kicking out of the high cross. I mean, he's been on a little bit of a roll lately, but I wasn't expecting that. Oh, nice move by Wade Barrett. I don't think I've seen anyone do that before. And wins a change. Perhaps there has been change in the air. Wade Barrett taking control of Sheamus. He's lifting him up, and he's putting him on the mat. The wasteland. Sorry, I shouldn't bury that move. It's just really not that good. And it gets the job done. Wade Barrett beats Sheamus. Oh my god. Barrett might be right. Sheamus is not his former self. And Wade Barrett gets a win. You gotta think, I was just talking moments ago about how I'd love to see Barrett set foot in the ring. One of the big guys in charge here on SmackDown right now. But truth be told, this win might very well get him close to that. There's not a lot of people in line for Andre the Giant's Intercontinental title right now. Perhaps that could be in the foreseeable future for Wade Barrett, who is doing real well for himself right now. That was a very impressive win. Congrats to Wade Barrett as we move on to Damien, Sandow, and Edge in an Extreme Rules match up next.
Representing the coalition from Palo Alto, California, weighing 247 pounds, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, the self-professed intellectual savior of the masses, Damien Sandow.
Well, he is one half of the World Tag Team Champions, and Damien Sandow is, of course, an extremely decorated superstar. Whether you like him or not, he's a former European champion, a former United States champion, a former Money in the Bank holder, and a former World Heavyweight champion. Now a World Tag Team champion, and, well, I'd imagine very likely to be in the 2013 Royal Rumble, so he could even be a Royal Rumble winner on top of all of that. But here tonight, he is going to be taken to his limits, I would imagine. This is a man hell-bent on revenge. And he's come ready to fight. Not wearing that normal wrestling gear is Edge here tonight. He's ready for a street fight.
Approaching the ring from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing 241 pounds, the Rated R Superstar, Edge.
Well, Edge, for those that did not see, to close out SmackDown last week, he was brutalized by Damien Sandow with a steel chair, alongside Big Show was attacked by Mark Henry with a steel chair. Sandow and Mark Henry doing tandem chair shots on Edge and Big Show, and Edge says, "Enough is enough. I'm putting an end to you, Damien Sandow. You're not even going to make it to the Royal Rumble," and we'll see about that. Edge certainly looks very motivated here tonight as he comes into this match. You know, I've been avoiding using this gear for quite a while because obviously he's missing his tattoos because this is a much earlier version of Edge. But then I realized he's always missing his tattoos because they didn't put them on his character model at all. His other arm, I mean. Obviously, I know he's got the ones on the one arm, but he's supposed to have tattoos on his other arm, and it pisses me off. Because if you go into Superstar heads, it's on there, but those attires look like shit because they're CAW attires. We were robbed. We were robbed of a correct Edge, a biblically accurate Edge. Well, Damien Sandow has been on quite a roll lately, but Edge is someone who says that it has now become his motivation and his goal to finally right that wrong. He's been so focused on, you know, his tag team with Christian in the past, and at one point he was quite focused on the World Heavyweight Championship, but never as much as he is right now. Edge says the Royal Rumble is near. This is his time. This is his chance. He is coming out of the Royal Rumble with a guaranteed World Championship opportunity, and he's going to do everything in his power to ensure it. But we'll see if he can get through Damien Sandow here tonight in this Extreme Rules match. The problem with an Extreme Rules match is you've got to remember, Scott Steiner is backstage, and he can very likely come to the aid of Damien Sandow, so I hope Christian is at the ready to come out here and help Edge. And you never know, JBL could even be here. The Coalition definitely lost him to NXT, but that doesn't mean he can't be in attendance, and obviously with there being no disqualifications here tonight, it's very likely that this will not remain a one-on-one match the whole way through. Of course, it would also be very likely that in 2K14 fashion, not a single weapon is used in this Extreme Rules match as well. Does falls count anywhere on top of being Extreme Rules? I want to remind you. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Damien Sandow coming outside of the ring there, and Edge dropping directly onto his head and showing him how it's done. And Sandow says no. Edge goes in for the cover here on Damien Sandow. Only a 1 count. Way too early, I think, to see this one come to an end. Edge. I don't know what he's doing right now. He couldn't show that. Apparently we only had the one camera angle available. I don't know why this is the one we keep jumping to. Seems a little... What is this? Just peek around the corner. What are you doing?
He's a refined and sophisticated
What are these camera angles? Stop. There you go. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Cover attempt. We had one. There we go. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Keep your finger off the switch, Dunn. Well, a ladder has come into play, potentially. I think it's kind of going through the floor a little bit, but I think there's a ladder in the match now. And of course, it was TLC, where Sandow and Steiner retained against Edge and Christian, in what Edge and Christian call their specialty, the TLC match. I think they collided with the ladder there, apparently. I didn't really see it. Oh god, oh god. Oh, okay, I definitely saw that. Northern Light suplex onto the ladder, and that was not enough. And Sandow with a "you're welcome" onto the ladder. Ooh! Vicious, and he doesn't even go for the pin. He hits his own finisher move, doesn't go for the pin. Can't make this shit up. Edge scooping up Damien Sandow as he drives. Oh, he's facing. I think he was going to go for the knees. I think he was going to do the Darren Young gut check there, but no. DDT on the concrete. The padded concrete. The smooth, soft concrete. And Edge. No, I'll tell you this now, that pattern's not very thick. Alright. Over attempt on a 2. A very interesting matchup next. Robert Scorpio up against Ultimate Warrior. This guy's had a lot of history with Ryback. And here tonight he faces off against Ryback's tag team partner. I'm surprised this match hasn't already happened before, but I don't believe it has. Edge calling for a spear, and he gets Sandow. Well, yeah, it wasn't a very extreme match if that's the end, but there's the cover by Edge, and he gets the win. That was a very WWE 2010 extreme match right there. There was one weapon, it was used a little bit, and Edge got the win. That is also a part of every extreme match from 2010s, even though Edge retired in like 2011, I think it was. That's yep. That's the rule. Edge wins. Well, congratulations to Edge as he sets his sights on the Royal Rumble match and hopes to put Damien Sandow behind him with this victory. I'm amazed Edge doesn't have his own victory animation, by the way. As we move on up next, Robert Scorpio facing off against Ultimate Warrior. And I've got a big announcement for this one.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from the United Kingdom, Robert Scorpio.
Well, I was speaking last week about how SmackDown was in need of potentially another championship, with the European title being over on Raw and SmackDown Superstars seemingly not getting a shot at that anytime soon. Well, Robert Scorpio took exceptional notice of that, and he said, look, truth be told, I don't know if I could beat Andre the Giant. I don't know if I could beat The Big Show. And I sure as hell don't want to get back in a tag team competition anytime soon. But let me just be the first to say, there is one former champion that I have spent the last year beating over and over and over again here on SmackDown. So Ryback, I'm laying down the challenge to you at the Royal Rumble, unretire your hardcore championship. And let's bring that championship back to Friday nights with me as the new champion. I don't know if Ryback's going to accept this challenge. I don't even know if this is permitted, but Robert Scorpio wants the hardcore championship back, and he wants to take it from Ryback. Back is in brought back, by the way. I don't believe Robert Scorpio ever held the hardcore championship before. But it should be interesting to see if that ends up happening, if that challenge is accepted. And tonight he gets ready for a match against Ultimate Warrior. This is going to be tough. Does raise a good point, though. He has beat Ryback most of this season. So, I mean, let's hear it down below. Would you like to see the return of the Hardcore Championship here on SmackDown? Ryback, obviously, as I mentioned before, has not responded to the challenge. I mean, obviously, if there's enough interest in it, then this could end up happening. I know that we already have a few championships here, so obviously there could be the argument that perhaps we don't need another one, but I feel like SmackDown kind of needs just that extra bit of competition right now. But that's just me, personally. I don't know. Ryback was, of course, for those that don't know, he was the final hardcore champion before the title was retired Oh, when was the title even retired at this point? I don't know. It was, I think it's like season 2. No, Ryback wasn't in season 2. It couldn't have been season 2. It was the last season. Okay, so it's been, I think it's been about a year, maybe a little longer than that. Let me find out when the last time that Hardcore Championship was around. I think it went with the end of ECW, I want to say. Hardcore Championship. Yeah, it would have been sometime in 2011. Ryback was the final champion. He had 105 days as champ and 5 successful defenses. This was during Ryback's reign of dominance. Let me see if I can find like on his wiki. Yeah, I think when ECW was closed, the title was just retired, and Ryback just came to SmackDown without it. I think that's right. But yeah, he was on a 17-match win streak up until the start of this year, and Ryback so far this season has a 7-17 win-loss record. And he has lost to Scorpio at least 3 or 4 of those 17 losses. Scorpio has a 12-12. He's not exactly perfect, but you know, he's gotten a lot of wins over Ryback, so I can understand why he'd say, well, you know, if you had that championship still, I'd have taken it off of you a long time ago. He does have a good point. And of course, with the Hardcore Championship, that means we'll be seeing Extreme Rules matches a lot more often as well, which could be something new that makes SmackDown a little different. But there are a lot of big, beefy men, a lot of tough competition here on SmackDown. Obviously, you know, I can say, because I'm trying to give like counterpoints for why you would and wouldn't want it back. I will say this, you know, just because you look at the current situation of Andre the Giant and Big Show and you go, that's a lot of very big men in the championship division. Who's to say Mark Henry, Great Khali, Scott Steiner, Ultimate Warrior, you know, Ryback himself, any one of these beefy dudes could also be the Hardcore Champion as well, and that's just another title that people... Ooh. Backbreaker didn't lead to much there for Scorpio. So he goes to the neck breaker into the cover center of the ring, kick out. It could be just the same for the Hardcore title if it was to be brought back. There's no guarantee that Scorpio is going to win it from Ryback, and obviously with that then comes another championship that some of the smaller dudes on SmackDown, because there are a few. There's Scorpio, there's Eddie Guerrero, there's Ricky Steamboat, there's Fandango. Oh, almost, but Scorpio able to kick out. Remember, Scorpio with the victory over John Cena. If you want to count this guy out, just remember that. Very recently, Scorpio, got a win over John's great camera angle. Really captured the landing of that move. He captured a win over John Cena just before Cena became contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. So you don't want to underestimate Scorpio too much. He can come out with some surprising wins from time to time. Sure, maybe not as often as he'd like, but sometimes. Ultimate Warrior is yet to really make an impact since his debut. I think he's had some pretty impressive showings, but I feel like he's one of those people that's still finding himself. Oh, good takedown here by Scorpio into a cover, and wow, he gets him. Scorpio with a pinfall over the Ultimate Warrior. And if Ryback accepts the challenge, that could be all it takes to win the Hardcore Championship. Warrior showing respect to Robert Scorpio. I don't think Ryback's going to like that very much. His buddy Warrior showing respect to the rookie Robert Scorpio, who seems to be finally turning his career around after a very long time of not being so very hot. But anyway, we move on. It is main event time up next. Triple threat. We find out who will face off for the World Heavyweight Championship at the... sorry, not the Royal Rumble. Next week on SmackDown. Big Show due to defend his World Heavyweight title for the first time. Will it be against the former champion Mark Henry? The man who pinned Big Show recently on SmackDown, the Great Khali, or the man who pinned Big Show even more recently on SmackDown? Sorry, I don't think he even pinned. I think he submitted the Big Show. Scott Steiner. This is going to be a brutal triple threat. This match will go until we have a winner, and it will be elimination style. One of these 3 giant men meet the Big Show for the World Heavyweight Championship next week. Here we go.
way to the ring. From India, weighing 347 pounds, the Great Khali.
We got ourselves some title headliners coming your way next week across the two brands. Here on SmackDown, the World Heavyweight Championship will be defended Big Show against the winner of this triple threat. But this upcoming Monday on Raw, Goldberg faces Randy Orton in his rematch for the WWE Championship after Orton suffered a loss to Stone Cold Steve Austin. His motivation and desperation are at an all-time high to reclaim the WWE Championship and win his third WWE title. Now remember, for as long as Goldberg is WWE Champion, he is still under contract, but as soon as he loses that title over on Raw, that's it for Goldberg. Miz is going to make sure of it. So got a lot riding on that match this Monday. You do not want to miss that main event. But right now, the Great Khali, who has made a really surprising career resurgence recently, had a surprise match against the Big Show, suddenly brought back into competition, and he ended up defeating Big Show. And that was on Big Show's road to becoming World Heavyweight Champion, which would arguably make him one of the top contenders right now.
And approaching the ring from Silsbee, Texas, weighing 418 pounds, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Now, ordinarily, Mark Henry would just be given a World Heavyweight Championship rematch. Paul Heyman says, you weren't really champion for long enough. I don't really think that right now I want to just hand you a rematch. I feel like when you look at the competition at the top of SmackDown, I think you need to prove that you're the one that should be getting a rematch with the Big Show. Right now, of course, John Cena is the guaranteed challenger at the Royal Rumble. So he's going to be watching this match just as closely as the Big Show. There's a lot of pressure on right now if you're John Cena and the Big Show, because these are three incredibly dangerous men. I mean, we've seen what Mark Henry's capable of. We've seen what he's done. And I don't think that we've seen even, a quarter of what he's capable of. I think he had a great run as World Heavyweight Champion. I stand by it. I think much like Bret Hart, even though his championship reign was short, I think Mark Henry's was very impactful for as short as it was. I think he could just as easily win that championship back again. Obviously, I'll admit I'm a little opposed to very short reigns, and I feel like the World Heavyweight title has passed hands a lot recently, but yeah, it's just the way it lands sometimes.
And representing the coalition from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 276 pounds, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Scott Steiner.
And of course, whilst I'm on the subject of things that ordinarily wouldn't be allowed, ordinarily, because he's World Tag Team Champion, Scott Steiner would not be allowed anywhere near the World Heavyweight Championship. But Paul Heyman says he loves stirring things up. He loves seeing things go in a direction that maybe people weren't expecting, maybe people didn't think was going to happen. And that is why he thought it would be tremendous at the idea of Scott Steiner being World Heavyweight and World Tag Team Champion. He loves it. He thinks Scott Steiner is worthy of breaking that rule. We'll see if Steiner can get this big win in this triple threat tonight. He has been insanely impressive. And I tell you, if you're Big Show, how do you prepare? How do you watch this match and prepare for next week? Okay, he holds a victory over Mark Henry. But Scott Steiner and the Great Khali both have beat Big Show most recently. So for his first World Heavyweight title defense, there is a 2-in-3 chance he'll be going against someone that he has lost to most recently. And of course with Mark Henry, well, I mentioned before, we know how dangerous he can be. Just because Big Show defeated him at TLC in that chairs match, that doesn't necessarily mean that Big Show will beat him again next week on SmackDown. Any one of these three has a very good chance of dethroning the Big Show almost immediately after winning the World Championship. This will be his first world title defense next week on SmackDown.
What we're witnessing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is physical domination creation of a human being like we've never seen before.
Oh, Scott
You really noticed the difference in size from the Great Khali. I mean, this is the smallest Mark Henry's ever looked, because even Scott Steiner towers over him. And Mark Henry is a very, very big guy. Make no mistake about it. He might look small in the ring with these two, but you come face to face with Mark Henry. Sorry, you'll soon find out that he is definitely not small. Belly to Steiner. Of course, remember, with this being a triple threat, there is no disqualification, which means this fight can go to the outside. We can see falls count anywhere. We can see weapons involved. We can see other people involved. Of course, that's a backup plan that Steiner has that the other two do not. Sandow could very easily get involved in this match. Of course, Steiner didn't exactly help Sandow earlier, so maybe Sandow won't help Steiner. I don't know. Maybe Steiner just wanted to preserve himself for this important main event match. Sandow's a former World Heavyweight Champion. He should understand that. I hope the primetime players are ready for the Royal Rumble. I'll say that now. I mean, Scott Steiner and Damien Sandow are some incredibly tough opponents. I will say this, if Steiner ends up winning the World Heavyweight title next week, if he wins this match tonight, that's someone that will have to pull double duty at the Royal Rumble. Then he'd have to defend his World Tag titles against the primetime players and his World Heavyweight Championship against John Cena in the same night. That could be pretty tough. You may notice there's no time limit on this match. This match has been given, as I mentioned earlier, until there is a winner. Paul Heyman is very invested in this triple threat here tonight. He really wants to make sure the Big Show has a contender for next week's SmackDown, and that this isn't some kind of fatal four-way situation or triple threat or whatever. He wants one decisive winner. He wants to make sure it is a straightforward match between Big Show and whoever comes out on top in this incredibly stacked triple threat.
Once again, no holds barred in this match. Everything is legal.
Royal Rumble shaping up to be a really interesting event. From SmackDown, we could be looking at a reinstated Hardcore Championship, which would be Scorpio against Ryback. We got the World Tag Titles primetime players up against the Coalition, and the World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena faces one of 4 potential men for the World Heavyweight Championship. And over from Raw, we got the United States Championship on the line. Daniel Bryan challenging Cody Rhodes, which I think is a first time. At the WWE Championship, Stone Cold Steve Austin facing either Goldberg or Randy Orton. I think that's everything. No, I think there's one more match that I'm missing here. Let me have a look. I think I have this written down. Oh, and of course, that's right. Miz and Ziggler recently this Monday on Raw, they earned a shot at the WWE Tag Team titles. They'll be facing the Shield. We've been told that they've been feigning ignorance to what happened to Seth Rollins this Monday on Raw. They have no idea what could have happened. Perhaps he got cold feet, is their comment in regards to Seth Rollins' sudden disappearance and Dean Ambrose's very unusual absence from the match. They're saying that perhaps he just backed down. Perhaps he was afraid. I don't know about that one. Khali, what the hell are you doing? Of course, this Monday on Raw, I can announce to you, as I mentioned before, kicking things off, we'll be having the Real Americans and Bryce Walker up against Cody Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, and Randy Savage. Big 6-man tag to start the night. Kofi Kingston will be facing off against Hulk Hogan. What the hell, Khali? This isn't a fatal 4-way. Kofi Kingston up against Hulk Hogan as they both prepare for the upcoming Royal Rumble match. As well as Shawn Michaels against Mick Foley. Similar situation. Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with The Miz as he tries to make up for his disappearance last week on Raw. So I want to know what's going on there. And of course, I mentioned before that main event, the WWE Championship, Goldberg set to defend against Randy Orton. Two world title matches next week on Raw and SmackDown. What a treat. It's just a shame that that rematch between Jake Roberts and Big E Langston, that's definitely on the horizon. Isn't taking place next week as well, because then every show could be headlined with a title match. For those curious, this upcoming week's NXT will feature Rey Mysterio against Ted DiBiase in the opener. We have a Wolf Kessler up against Dusty Rhodes. And a tag team match, AJ Lee and Layla facing up against Summer Rae and the Tower. I can't tell you what's happening next week on SmackDown because I don't know yet. But I will tell you this. The winner of this match will be facing the Big Show for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event. Mark Henry double suplex. Taking down both the Great Khali and Scott Steiner there. I'm amazed we still haven't seen even close to an elimination yet. And after getting double suplexed, they take it upon themselves. You gotta think, Mark Henry, by the way, because that may have come off a little casual there. Mark Henry just suplexed. I don't even want to know how many combined pounds Scott Steiner and the Great Khali are. He managed to lift both of them. One in each arm. Red suplex takes Henry down from the top rope, and Khali trying to capitalize on that. Belly to belly to Scott Steiner. Imagine Great Khali, after his recent comeback, some of his big wins he's picked up in recent weeks. Imagine if the Great Khali was to win the World Heavyweight Championship out of the blue. You may say, oh, he's not, he's not done anything to prove himself. Well, I mean, that's the same situation that CM Punk and Mark Henry had. They got an opportunity out of the blue, and they ended up becoming a World Heavyweight Champion. Back to back. That's what happened. They stepped up, and they got that opportunity. I think it's the same thing happening for Khali right now, potentially. I mean, I stand by what I said before. This match right here, this isn't the tough obstacle. And obviously next week, that can be a tough obstacle. But it's knowing you then have to go to the Royal Rumble and face John Cena on top. It's going to be a pretty brutal lineup, especially if you're in this triple threat and you end up winning next week. 3 tough matches, very close together. The chop from Khali. And it looks like Mark Henry and Khali having a little bit of a disagreement on who's getting the pin. Henry jumps in, goes for the cover on Steiner, and a kick out at 1. Remember, this is elimination style, so that won't have been the end right there. It would have come down to a 1-on-1 between Henry and Khali if Steiner was eliminated. Sorry, I've had this weird feeling in my chest ever since I woke up. Like like there's something in there that I need to cough up. It kind of feels like... It felt like... I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. Like I just inhaled like too much smoke or something. But I don't smoke. And there was no fires around me and no one smokes around me. You're not allowed to smoke in this building. I don't know what the hell that was. Steiner recliner here on Mark Henry. And whilst he won't tap out, he might pass out. Steiner decided to release the hold. Perhaps he felt that he was losing his grip a little there. It's amazing that 1 second he's got a submission on him, and the next second they're double teaming. Whatever it takes to get any man out, I think. I wonder if there's a preference for any of these 3. I wonder if there's anyone that they particularly want out first. I can't even imagine. I wonder if it's all, like, if any of it's mutual at all. Uh-oh, Great Khali going for a choke bomb on Mark Henry. Drops him. Scott Steiner capitalizing off of the choke bomb. He goes for the cover on Henry, and Henry is out. There will be no rematch for Mark Henry as this now comes down to the World Tag Team Champion Scott Steiner and the Great Khali, who both hold wins over the Big Show recently. A little more recently for Scott Steiner. I think it was like last week that he beat Steiner. I mean, that he beat Big Show. Maybe even the week before, but it was very recent either way. Oh no, it could have been last week. Last week was a 6-man tag. Henry and Steiner got a win over Big Show last week. 6-man tag team match. The Coalition and Mark Henry defeated Big Show, John Cena, and Edge. Khali really dominating Scott Steiner right now. Guys, I think we might be getting ready for a Great Khali World Heavyweight Championship win. He is... I don't know what's gotten into him, but he's gone crazy. Great Khali got the cover on Scott Steiner, and he kicks out. Belly to belly takes down the Great Khali. Mark Henry is definitely not who I saw getting eliminated from this first. I mean, he's nodding his head, but I don't think he's necessarily saying, yes, I submit. Scott Steiner outsized in this one. Again, very unusual for him. Torch rack. Oh. Torch rack slam. Cover attempt here and a kick out. You gotta think this one must be coming closer to the end. Mark Henry did definitely take a lot of punishment in this match. That choke bomb really was the end for him. It's a hell of a height to fall from. Mark Henry probably not used to falling from a height like that. Uh-oh. Not like this. Not like this. No. Not like this. It's Steiner with a reversal. I mean, I'll tell you, it'd be very interesting to see Steiner with the World Heavyweight Championship and the World Tag Team Championship. I think Sandow would become a little envious, truth be told. He'd be getting outshined. Uh-oh. Bear hug applied by the Great Khali. Bear hugs seem to be the way to go this season, and again, it gets the win. The Great Khali eliminates both Mark Henry and Scott Steiner, and just like that, this giant is set to face off against the Big Show for the World Heavyweight Championship next week in the main event of SmackDown. That is definitely not the one of the three I was expecting to come out with the win, but, well, he continues to get wins, and he continues to do the Khali shuffle, or whatever the hell this is, after he wins. Will this be the World Heavyweight Champion? After next week, he challenges Big Show in the main event for the World Heavyweight title. Khali could be next in line to hold the big gold. I guess maybe don't miss it. Next week on SmackDown, Big Show versus Khali for the World Heavyweight title.